We all know that designing your mock-ups for your Etsy product listings can take a ton of time. Now, when I mock up my listings originally, I do them in Photoshop and I use smart images. You can go to places like Creative Market, you can go on Etsy and find mock-ups that will allow you just to insert the design and it will display it, and so that way you have good product photos in your Etsy shop. But it typically takes a ton of time to do it one by one. And I recently found a new way that allows me to bulk edit all of my mockups and get them uploaded to Etsy fast. I've been doing like 5 and 10 and up to upwards of 15 a day in creating the products. Now, going on to Etsy and listing them, that's another video. But in this video, I'm going to show you how I actually do it because I have some products that I need to mock up. So I decided to record myself doing it. So if you just follow along, be patient. This video is not going to take long because you're going to see how fast we create these mock-ups within minutes. So let's get started. I've already designed my products as you can see here. So here are my design files. Let's blow them up for you so you can take a good look at them. So let me blow this up and spread that out so you can see. Okay, so these are my products that I am currently getting ready to mock up. So as you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them that I need to mock up. And these are what I call digital papers. They're letter size, which means they're 8.5 inches by 11 inches. They can be used for journaling paper. All you got to do is lighten the opacity of it. They can be used for posters, wall art, notebook covers, etc. Think creatively, you know what I mean? So they can be used for a lot of things. But the tool I used for this is called bulk mockups. So I want you to check it out. Bulk mockups, and I want to give a big thanks to Miss Bailey over at Digitally Purposed for this resource because she has saved me time with this. Okay, and I am a designer through and through, so this saves me a lot. Now, it is a paid for tool, okay? So there's no surprises. You can get it as low as $15 a month, or you can get it for the year. And the year price is $77, I believe, for the whole year. So do what you can afford. If you can't afford the $77 up front, or you want to make sure it's worth it for you, go ahead and do the monthly $15 at first and see if you can make your $15 back. Believe me, it's going to be well worth it in the time that you save. Okay, so this is the tool that we're going to be using. I'm not going to go through the whole download process and everything like that, but I will highlight some things for you as we go through this. So once you've downloaded the tool, you need to make 3 folders. Now you can name these folders whatever you want, but keep in mind your first folder is where you're going to hold your already designs. Okay, they're already where they need to be. Okay, so your ready-made designs are in one folder. The next folder is where you're going to put your smart mockups. Okay, now I want you to see this. I have a mockups folder. Let me blow this up so you can see it. These are Photoshop files because they have smart images in them. Okay, so I have a picture of a frame, I have a cell phone cover, and I have a notebook. Okay, and it's open to show that, hey, this is the cover of a notebook. All right, so these are the 3 mock-ups that I want to make for each of those 7 images. So you have to think about it. That's like 21 images, right? That I would have to normally do one by one by one. All right. So we're going to get this out of here. So let's move that. Okay. So 3 folders. First folder houses your designs. where your designs are located. The second folder needs to contain your mockups, the ones that you purchased from either Creative Market or Style Product Markups. That's a place on Etsy. I did purchase some mockups from them. They work fine. So yes, go find you some smart object markups. And of course, you're going to need Photoshop for this because this bulk mockup tool is a plugin for Photoshop. Go ahead and the third file, make your third file. The third file is where you want your finished files to go. So it's going to be empty. So your first two files are going to have something in it, but your last file is going to be empty because after the bulk mockup does its job, it's going to place the finished files in that last folder. So for example, I named my folders, I put them right on my desktop. Design 1 files, that's where my designs are. That's what you saw. The designs that I wanted to function with. The mockup 2 is my Photoshop Smart Object Mockups. And then my export files is empty. So I named it Design Files Mockups and then Export. You see a mockup 2 here for a different reason because I have a whole nother tutorial I can do on the mockups too. But we're going to make sure we're using the mockup, the first mockup, mockup 1, in the export file. Okay, so that is basically how your files are set up. Now let's work with the tool. So I'm going to open up Photoshop and I'm going to go to plugins at the top. It's going to say bulk mockup. I'm going to click bulk mockup. Now, this main screen, I kind of want to briefly go over this interface with you. Where it says the PSD template folder, where are the smart templates housed? You see where it says mockups 2? I want to change that. I want to change it to mockups 1. Okay, because that's where they are now. They're in mockups 1. And then my design files are in the design folder and my export folder is empty. I want to uncheck that. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just press start generating. I have it on field canvas cropping the extra, but in this case I could do field canvas stretch, which because these photos are digital paper, they're already vertical. Okay, so they already in a portrait, so I can stretch them and it's pretty good size, right? So I don't think it's going to do too much damage for me to field canvas and stretch it out, okay? Because it's already going vertical because all of my mockups are pretty much vertical, okay? So let's see how this looks. So now I must just click start generating. As you can see, the bulk mockup tool is at work. I'm not doing anything. Okay, it's saying that this layer isn't there. Oh, that's why. So I'm gonna have to rerun it. I should have checked that file before I did it. Okay, so now it's saying it's done. Now this might be a problem you're going to run into. So if we go to the exports file, you can see it exported everything except the cell phone. Let's blow these up. View options. I'll blow them up for you. Okay, so you can see it has the aisle, and all of the photos, all 7 of them in the frame. It has all 7 of them on the notebook, okay? However, we're missing the cell phone. And the reason why we're missing the cell phone, and this is what I found out about some of the mock-ups. I'm gonna open this in Photoshop. The tool doesn't pick up if the smart object is not on the top. You see how it's in the folder. It's not going to pick it up if it's inside of a folder. So we got to move it out of the folder and just like put it outside of the smart folder. And then we need to save. Okay, so now that's done. Now I need to move these mock-ups out. Oh, so I'm gonna move these mock-ups out of the folder because I don't want them to mock up again. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to Photoshop. We're gonna open our plugin and we're gonna go back to bulk mockups, and then we got mockups. Okay, we got export. We're gonna generate. Now it should work just fine now that it's outside. As you see, it's working. Okay, because that it was inside of that folder. You have to take the smart image out of the folder for it to work. So if you run into that problem, just know to open up the file. It might be in a folder, and so the tool can't read it when it's in a subfolder. Okay, that was fast. Okay, so but it exported it in the same place. Okay, because it's in my, see, now we got now we have the phone screens. Okay, so let's open some of these up. I'm gonna open up this. That looks good. Look at that. Crisp, nice and crisp. So that's like a poster. Let's see what else we can do. Let's look at the phones. All right, that phone looked pretty nice. So that's the phone case. Let's check out and that's what it looked like on the spiral notebook as a notebook cover. All right, and all I gotta do now is copy all of these images and put them into my mockup. Yay! So that's it, guys. That's it. If you want me to do a brief overview, like really explain the tools inside of the interface for the bulk mockup tool, just go ahead and leave a comment below. If I get enough comments for that, I will go ahead and explain exactly how to set this tool up. I'm a very techie person, and there is some things, and there is some things you need to do to set this up. And of course you can go through the tutorials, but it's some things that I learned that the tutorial didn't cover. And one of those being the smart image being inside the folder. It won't work that way. Also, there's different things that you need to do in order to make multiple smart objects work. Okay, and it's a different process. And then also these settings in the back for the design layer and all of this jazz and the folders and the naming. If you want me to get into detail on how this goes and explain to you and give you some examples, then feel free to leave it in the comments below. And again, if you like this type of content, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. It sure does help your girl out. So I hope this video was helpful in showing you how I design and create my mockups fast using this bulk mockup tool. And I am going to head over to Etsy really fast to show you how I actually edit my listing. Okay, so I'm gonna briefly show you that, but I'm gonna do another video on that completely. Okay, so let's go over to my Etsy shop really fast. I want you to know one thing about my Etsy shop is I create templates in the draft. Okay, so my draft has templates in it. Okay, and this is how I'm able to edit my listings fast. So all I do basically is I'll go in here and I will find out if this is digital paper 12 by 12. Well, in our case, these are digital papers in a letter size. So I would pick my letter size template. It's already priced. It already has the stock. And what I would do is I would copy it. And then I would name it, whatever the name is. It already has some pre-pictures in there. Now, I could just go ahead and put my mock-ups in here, right? However, I like to drop those into Canva first and put it in my template because I have a mock-up template and I can export the whole thing and just grab them and drop them all inside of here. Plus, I like to keep my images in Canva because it saves the space off my computer, off my Mac, okay? And even though I have copies and everything on the external hard drive, but That is just to show you I drop that in there, and then I can just exit this out, upload my files, and then I'll copy and paste the title here. Sometimes, not all the time. Okay, I'll copy and paste the title if I feel like it, if it's not a lot of them to do. But mostly I'll leave that because I can bulk change the title, right? I can bulk change that too. So anyway, I'll go through and I will fill out whatever needs to be filled out in here. And then I will go down, make all of my necessary updates, which is not a lot because, again, it's already where it needs to be. I don't have to fill this stuff out again. I did it once already. So then I'll just, you know what I'm saying, save it and boom. And then I would just make copies of that one, right? Because now all I'm changing is the mockups. Boom, 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 boom. And everything is pretty much the same. And then I can go through and I can click all the ones I've uploaded, and then I can bulk edit stuff all at the same time. Okay. And so me designing the graphics and the mock-up, that's what takes the most time. It's not even uploading it to Etsy, especially if you have templates made and set in your draft, which I will do another video on that as well. So let me know if you want to know more about that. But I set up these templates, so it allows me to upload to Etsy faster. I noticed that the majority of my time was spent on actually designing the mock-ups. And this, as you can see, we did this in like 5 minutes, like literally. And I did 21 mock-ups. There's 21 mock-ups done in like 5 minutes. All of these are done. Let me go and show you how many items are done. And I did not have to do them one by one. Okay, it just did them. And the great thing is you got up to 1,000 that you can do. And it does it in minutes. So the mock-ups is the biggest thing because you want those right in your Etsy shop for your brand, okay? But again, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Again, I hope this really helps somebody, and all the links to what I'm mentioning will be in the show notes below for you, okay? Until next time, bye.